Personally, I don't like how this fair value gap or this inversion fair value gap is holding up the price. Even though we have news driver at 10, I was thinking that if price is to run higher, it should have utilized the 10 o'clock or 10 a.m. news to run these highs. So because it has not done so, and right now it's digging deeper and even trading beyond this inversion fair value gap, to me this inversion fair value gap is a low probability. Right, so I'm going to shift my focus into this BC here. If we can get a closing price below this BC, this low would be next, right? So far I would still prefer to look for London's high, but whether we get that by 12 noon, it all depends. Keep in mind that later on during the PM session there is FOMC, so I'm just being slightly cautious of the trades that I'm going to take today. Alright, so once we have a 1 minute closing price above this high here, I might look for a long opportunity into London's high. Alright, so far no closing prices above this on the block here. "30 minutes seems to suggest higher prices. 30 seconds. Let's see. If we have a 1 minute candle closing above this down close candle right here, that's a valid setup as well. Alright, closing right on the high. Not something that I would want to see. I need more validation here. We did in fact close above this last down close candle here. So let's see if it trades back into this fair value gap to offer long higher. But it's kind of choppy right now. This is the current dealing range. We are still trading around 50%. So far, Dow Jones has taken out London's high. NQ and ES has not done so. NQ versus ES. NQ it's slightly weaker than ES. So I would prefer to long ES. But regardless, I'm only trading on ES. If nothing presents itself during from now to 10:30, then I would have to look for SMT on the 90 minutes candles. So far, NQ has taken out the previous 90 minutes candles low. ES has not done so. Order flow for now, it's still bearish on the 5 minutes. 15 minutes. Yep, it's bearish on the 15 minutes as well for now. Because it has closed below this two up close candles right at this candle here. Price came back all the way into the last one, rejected lower. And we're trading within or digging deeper into this down close candle. To me, this down close candle is a proportion order block. So in my opinion, the mean threshold right here should offer a strong reaction. If it does not do so, then they're probably going to leave this highs here. So I'm still bullish, looking for probably the 1 minute or the 5 minutes to have a change or to print a change in the state of delivery before I can look for any long setups. On the daily wise, it's not looking too good. The higher time frames looks bearish. It has been bearish, but right now it has just shifted bearish as well on Tuesday's close. So to me, this is looking like Wednesday's continuation of Tuesday's order flow. So for FOMC, it might just want to run the lows here. On ES, we have relative equal lows. On NQ, we have this fair value gap right here. And personally, if FOMC is going to run the lows here, then I'm thinking that could be the low of the week, and then we are going to trade higher. Why do I think that's the case? Because we are right now below the monthly open as well, and if it trades below this low, it's basically way below monthly open, and we are in the first week. However, this first week we have a lot of high impact news drivers, so I'm anticipating that to be the manipulation for the month. The next upcoming important rate folder would be CPI. That's in the second, or should I say the third week of May. But if you're using days quarterly theory, that is actually the second week of May. Right, so yep, let's see. Initially I was looking for NQ to run this highs here into this fair value gap, but because of Tuesday's closing price, I think this is right now very unlikely, and if price is not able to reach into this level here, that could indicate strong bearish strength. Alright, let's take a look. I don't like this relative equal lows right here. Let's take a look at NQ. We have made lower lows on NQ, so this could be SMT. I'm not too sure about that. We have 15 more minutes to 10:30. So if I'm going to take this setup, I'm anticipating the next 15 minutes candle to take out London's high. I mean, to me, that's a little bit too much to ask for, but let's see. Volume imbalance. We're still within this dealing range here. Nothing has changed. I mean, if I'm bullish, I would like to buy this fair value gap with my stops here. But based on the 5 minutes, it looks like I better save some mental capital. Minutes as well. We have closed the previous candle right here, so I'm not bullish on 15 minutes, so I can't take any change in state of delivery on the 1 minute. It just doesn't make sense. Alright, so even though we closed within this fair value gap, we have closed below the 50%. I don't like that. We have this volume imbalance right here. I want to see if it wants to run lower after trading into that volume imbalance. Right. On the 5 minutes, what could validate a long confirmation for 5 minutes would be price closing above this swing high here. But then that is almost the last leg into London's high. Yeah, I could entertain that idea, or I could entertain taking that setup, but this has to be the minimum requirement for me to go long for now, because prices are not going anywhere. We have high impact news later on during the PM session, so it is logical for price to just want to hang around this area. Interesting to note is that NQ 15 minutes took out this lows here. It has failed to do so, right? So that could be a possible SMT. Needs more confirmation to solidify this idea. Right, so on a 1 minute, because we have this down close candle here, the very next up close candle should close above this down close candle if we are going to have a bullish order flow. Right, so if I'm long within this fair value gap, that is what I will be looking for this candle. Right, so for this one, the opening price and the closing price is the same, so this candle is not counted. Right, and preferably no closing prices below this fair value gap right here. I'm just reading order flow. Okay, let's see. Based on this alone, it's low probability. We have digged into this fair value gap for many times. Price has failed to rally higher. Alright. So the next candle should be an up close candle closing above this high here, if it is to be bullish. Right, so this candle here, it needs to close above here. If it does not close above here and it prints a down close candle, I don't like that. Right, this down close candle here, I hate this. This to me looks like it's going to continue to consolidate for a longer period of time. We have left equal highs and equal lows right here. So right now it's just a waiting game to see which side it wants to engage first. Seek and destroy on the lower time frames. I'm going to remove this and this. 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. If it is going to continue bearish, this lows are next and probably the rejection block right here. On the 5 minutes, if we are going to continue bearish, I want to see consecutive down close candles if it is going to give, to take out these two up close candles here. So far we have one inside candle. This would be the second one if it is not trading above this candle here, this candle's range. Alright, now this is the second inside candle. This candle here should expand. If I don't get an expansion for this candle above this high here or this low here, we are most likely going to continue the consolidation. But because I'm anticipating London's high to be taken out, I want to see expansion higher. The 1 minute just looks like trash. Hello there. Oh, by the way, I just realized that we have been trading within this candle for many candles. So yeah, longer term consolidation expected until 10:30. That is my minimum expectations because there's just way too many inside candles. The 15 minutes fair value right here. I mean, look at the bodies. If so, this candle should expand higher, taking out this swing high. If we are going to be bullish, attacking this London's high, this candle right here should trade higher. And if that's the case, I would be able to look for longs within this wick here. But then again, 15 minutes order flow is still bearish. We could get a closing price below this up close candle here by 10:45, and if we are going to do that, it's probably going to trade up into this up close candle for a short to lower prices. But obviously my bias is to the upside, so let's see if we can get price trading above this swing high. My bias will only last until 12 noon. Anything beyond 12 noon, it's out of my reach, because I'm anticipating seek and destroy profile. So we took out Asia's highs and lows during London, and we took out London's low during the New York AM session. Therefore, within the New York AM session before 12, I would like to see it run towards London's high. That is the classic seek and destroy model. To 1 minute here. Lots of back and forth. So if we ever leave this range, it should be a low resistance liquidity run towards this target over here. Alright, so right now we have this down close candle taking out this swing low, right? On the right we have another down close candle within this down close candle. This up close candle validated this down close candle as a bullish order block. So if I'm going to long, I'm going to use the wick to the opening price, and I'm going down to the lower time frames to see if there's anything I can key off from. 30 seconds. No, there's totally nothing I can key off from. So if I'm going to stick to the 5 minutes, I'll have to use the dealing range from this low to this high, 50%. Right, so hopefully it trades into this level here. Let's see. So far this is what I can see for now. Into here, 15 points. We have a volume imbalance right here. Okay, so at this point in time it's 50% of the week. I'll take it. 10 o'clock's opening price. If this candle ever closes above this swing high here, I would probably not get my fill. Alright, so in the case of reversals, because I'm looking for this high to be taken out to reach my objective, above 50%, it should be parabolic price delivery. That's also why I stated that if it closes above this swing high, I am probably not going to get my entry down here. We'll see if that turns out to be true, but if it hits my entry right now, I would expect an aggressive price rejection of my entry. The next correct PD array, it should be this wick here, right? Look at the 50%. Nah, I'm not in the jungle, concrete jungle maybe, but I guess if you consider Singapore a jungle type of city, maybe there are trees everywhere. Right, so this candle can trade down into my entry, but it should not close below 50% of the wick. And if this candle closes below 50% of the wick before hitting my entry, I will remove my limit orders. This is the 1040 candle. So 3 more minutes to go. Alright, so this candle here should not close below this 50%. Two more minutes. The very last minute, I want to see aggressive repricing, which means if you can give me an up close candle, that would be perfect. Alright, we are in the last minute, 40 more seconds to go. Ten more seconds to go. I'm going to shift my stops to slightly below the mean threshold of this up close candle here. So the mean threshold is right here. Put it here. So right now, any up close candles, I want to see it close above this down close candle. Preferably speed above this high. Now the question is, can it trade back down into this volume imbalance again? To me, it's highly likely that it can. Because if you take a look at the 15 minutes chart, that is another 15 minutes. This volume imbalance here is also a 15 minutes volume imbalance that has yet to be reached into. But obviously, I would rather price not come back into this order block again, because it has already done so over here in this particular down close candle. We have 3 more minutes for this candle, if it is going to be a green candle, to close above this down close candle. if I don't get that, I'm probably going to cut my position as well, because I'm anticipating parabolic price delivery. I don't want to have consolidation down here. Once I have a candle trading above this high, I would like to see it close above this high. Alright, it's 10:50 in 30 seconds. Because we have traded above this high, I'm going to move my stops to this down close candles low. It should not come back anymore, because this is going to be a swing low. If we trade up above this swing highs and then price comes back down, take out this swing low here, it's a low probability. We should continue to make higher lows and higher highs. Right, exactly what I want to see. Closing price above this down close candle. So the very next candle, if it can trade below here and touch this down close candle, I would like to see extreme speed above, extreme speed towards the upside. The same rule still applies. If we get a closing price below this 50%, I'm also going to cut my position. So it's either the stop loss or this 50% level here on a closing basis. And right now we have this candle tapping this down close candle. I would love to see this as immediate rebalance, and I want to see it reprice aggressively higher. So best case scenario, this candle closes above this high. above this high, I would like to see teleportation candles into my final objective. But first we have to close above this high. Right, this up close candle here. Let's take a look. Well, the good news is that it has closed above 50% of this CB. Yep. This right now should act as support to go higher. Five more minutes to the 15 minutes close. The 15 minutes should close above that rejection block, which it comes in around 5058. I mean, I want to see that closing, this candle's closing above 5058. At this point in time, any closing prices below this fair value gap 50% level, I will cut my position. Let me draw the level real quick. This level here. This is 15 and 15 rejection block. Alright, I want to see speed, especially above this high. So right now I'm gonna shift my stops to break even, but specifically somewhere below, just below 50% of this down close candle's wick, in case of manipulation. Or should I say manual intervention. Right, so 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. If this candle doesn't close above this rejection block, I'll cut my position as well. One more minute. Look at that wick here. Forty more seconds to go. Seems like I have to cut my position. Alright, I'm gonna cut it. In the end, it's 5 handles. I think it's eventually still gonna run higher, but it's just that I don't want to entertain any strong retracements. We have volume imbalance right here on 15 minutes, and this 15 minutes inversion fair value gap should support the price to go higher, right? And we are at the opening price of 11 o'clock's hourly candle, so that could provide power of 3. So basically opens, drops, accumulates a little bit, and then go higher. That could be that hourly candle's power of 3. So I don't want to endure that, and that's basically the last hour for this move to be completed. At the same time, we have read for the news in the PM session, so I'm not trying to hold this trade here for that level, right? I just get what I can. So if it runs there, good, that means my analysis is correct, right? So let's see. It's too many moving parts for today, right? On a normal day, like if there is no high impact news on the PM session, I would be more willing to hold the price, and I would wait for that soft invalidation, meaning closing below here. I would then cut my losses. But because we do have a really big and significant high impact news later on, it's better to be safe than sorry, you know? Alright, so today's PNL. Oh, commission. It's not even 250. But anyways, right now it's 49,264. It's 264. Oh yeah, it was 49,017. Alright, fair enough. When you take a look at Dow Jones 50 minutes, obviously it's going to run to that swing high. So to me, if it can run to that swing high, ES can definitely run into this swing highs. So yeah, and I'm expecting it to run higher into London's high. So that should be no issues at all before 12 noon. No, I'm not on Apex. I'm actually on TopStep, so I'm only trading one account. Alright, so you can see this candle right here. This will give me a nerve wreck. Trading up into that rejection block and then trading lower again. I don't like it at all. Right, but then again, it's on a 5 minutes candle. We still have 20 more seconds to the close. If we can provide a down close candle, that would be great, because the very next candle you would expect higher prices if it is going to close as a green candle. Now look at that. It's not a down close candle. Alright, so we have a volume imbalance right here. It could probably reach into this volume imbalance to go higher, right? So if I'm observing this candle's opening price is right here. This is 11 a.m.'s opening price. So hourly power of 3, right? It has just printed a discount wick for now. Let's say it wants to print lower wicks, or this is more than enough. I mean, if it's going to go up, this should be more than enough. So right now, preferably 11 a.m. supports the price to go higher. Right, we're encountering some rejection from this rejection block. If this candle here was to close above the rejection block or within the rejection block, then I would anticipate that the 11 a.m.'s candle would probably want to run higher first and then lower, because we're in the macro as well. So if the macro is not providing that price pull, then it's very highly likely that it's going to run some form of lower time frame sell stops. So that's how I personally use the macros from ICT. The 20 minutes macro from 10:50 to 11:10. See, I don't like how price is spending so much time below the opening price of 11 a.m. I don't like that. Alright, one more time into this other block here. Now this is slowly becoming a low probability order block, right? Because of this immediate rebalance here, price should start to spool, and at this candle it's pretty much confirmed that we are not going to spool higher, so retracements are higher probability. Right, so remember my stops was down here, slightly below the mean threshold of this wick. So the chances of me getting stopped out right now, it's pretty high if I'm still in the trade, because we do have this volume imbalance here on the 15 minutes. If it ever wants to draw back into it, alright, there you go. Stopped out if I'm still in the trade. One single candle. It didn't even give me a chance to see if it can close below this level or not. So that's the type of price action I'm trying to avoid by closing my trade up here. Alright, so in the 15 minutes, as you can see, this is one volume imbalance right here. And then we have this old fair value gap. So right now my attention is back here. And if you take a look at the 15 minutes, it's more like it's in a consolidation, still within this swing high and swing low. So we are still within the dealing range. Swing high, swing low. Above 50%, you would like to see speed, parabolic price action, rather than this huge retracement down here. This is not a high probability reversal profile. And right here as well, from this high to this low, above 50%, we'd like to see speed, but obviously we did not get that. We traded back down all the way back down to 25%. Right, so it's basically gyrating around this large dealing range. Right. Low probability conditions and consolidations, yeah, pretty much expected due to the event later on, FOMC. Right, so Dow Jones leaving that high there. Right, we even took out this swing low as expected, the macro. Oh well, I'm glad I closed the position. Saved me a lot of headaches. Right, so right now pretty much we're in a waiting game. Seems like they're gonna leave the London's high. Seems like it. For now it seems like it. Dow Jones traded above the London's high 2 times now for 2 1-hour candle. NQ and ES is still unable to do so. Alright, so probably the seek and destroy will end here within the New York session and then the PM session. Let's take a look at the 4 hours chart here. I'm going to remove all the annotations because they are useless for now. I'm not trading it anyways. To me, what am I thinking? If price during FOMC is going to run higher first, I'll be focusing on this inversion fair value gap on the 4 hours. So it runs higher first, something like this, and then lower, right? And if it runs the lows first, that would be the best, right? Because we do have higher time frame swing lows to look for right here. So if it just drops during FOMC, to me this is like the low of the week. right? We take out the lows and then we reverse higher, retracing higher, and then maybe in non-farm payrolls we trade lower again, but leaving that Wednesday's low. That's what I can think of for now. But obviously if it trades higher first and then lower, I mean, that will be in line with the weekly order flow. Weekly opening price right here trades up into this fair value gap, CB, bearish fair value gap, and then drops, taking out previous week's low and this week's low as well into this relative equal daily lows. And then we have this small little fair value gap right here. That would be the next objective if we were to drop this week. Next week's objective would be right here. And on the monthly, it looks pretty bearish though. On the monthly, we have closed below this up close candle. That is not good if we are going to continue higher, right? So closing below here, we have SMTs on the highs when you compare NQ and ES. So that's the signal for reversals, right? We're closed below any price trading back up into this order block here. This is a valid order block for now due to SMT, right? So trading up into this area, the opening price to the low, it's a short opportunity to take out this month's the previous month's low, April's low, right? And below April's low, we have a complete fill of this fair value gap, 4957. The next clear objective would be here. Does it have any wicks? Let's see, the lows and the open, two handles. Okay, two handles as a wick, right? Anyways, right, and to me the terminus would be Q1's low. And if we were to engage Q1's low, man, this is going to be a very tough trading condition here. Basically Q1, Q2 taking out Q1's highs and lows, Q3 would probably take out Q2's highs and lows as well. So it's basically a seek and destroy on a higher time frames. And that is totally reasonable to expect, because for the yearly Q1 that would start at 2023, the year of 2023 is actually Q1, right? So Q2 it's the year 2024. So since we have an expansion in Q1 in the year 2023, Q4 would probably be a consolidation year or a seek and destroy year, right? To me, that's the highest probability for 2024, even though we are in election year, right? And we're expecting some volatility, but to me that volatility could be seek and destroy as well, because seek and destroy actually does provide a lot of volatility, but you're basically trading the range extremes from the lows to the highs and the highs to the lows. It's not going to expand away from this current dealing range, which is for now this swing low to this swing high here. So maybe we get a drop down into this level here and retrace higher, taking out the highs, and then we retrace back down in Q4. I think that's how it's going to play out. Yep. Let's go back into the 15 minutes chart. Wow. Look at this. We have closed the 15 minutes below this fair value gap, like finally, right? Look at the bodies here and then the body right here. So seems like this lows up next. Then you have the ICT phantom trend line, 1 2 3. This low is the low hanging fruit. So let's take a look on the 5 minutes. There's really nothing here for me to key off from. Yep, nothing that I can key off from to enter shorts. How about the 1 minute? Nothing here as well. so I'm not missing anything. Okay. Man, NQ is making low lows on the daily. I mean, London's low, to be precise. Is it London's low? No, it's New York session's low, AM's low. Very, very tough to trade in such a condition here. Doesn't mean you can't scalp, but you just can't hold it for a one directional moves. Let's see. We have this fair value gap right here. I'm not gonna enter another trade, by the way. I'm just watching the order flow. I'm going to go to like a 5 minutes AFK. Gonna take something from the kitchen. 5 minutes AFK. Alright, since there's nothing much over here and fireworks is most probably going to be in the PM session, I'm going to end the session here. So just to summarize what I did today, trade executions, right, and right here 245 profit for today. Bought this down close candle here, was looking for London's high due to the underlying seek and destroy profile, but I closed right here because price is unwilling to close above the 15 minutes rejection block right here, right at this candle. So I closed my position right here, right? And that's it for this trade. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do leave a like, and if you have any questions you can leave them in the comments section down below. Alright, and I'll see you in the next one.